This is the story of Kabir as proclaimed by God, as against the story of Kabir that the humans have come to know from the books written by the King of the universe about Kabir. All of Kabir's books and collections of works were written by the king, also known as Kal or Kal Brahm or Jyoti Niranjan or Kal Niranjan. Just like the king wrote the distorted scriptures of every religion, where he proclaimed himself as the ultimate, as Bhagwan, Mahadev, Paramatma, Parmeshwar, Ishwar, God, Allah, Father, Vaheguru, Yehovah, Ahura Mazda, and so on. He also wrote a distorted version of the book about Kabir. King altered Kabir's words according to his own agenda and misled people by introducing his own information and created the sect of Kabir Panthis, meaning the followers of Kabir. Kabir was against every religion and all kinds of spirituality, against all scriptures, against all rituals and practices, against all the gurus and the priests. Kabir neither had a guru nor did he establish himself as a guru. Kabir did not make anyone his disciple, nor did he establish the tradition of guru and disciple, nor did he create any followers or give any kind of rituals or worshipping. The game of guru and disciple is the king's creation, through which he binds people and prevents them from connecting with God. Kabir is the son of God, not God himself. In some of Kabir's books, he is described as son of God, while in others, he is portrayed as God. This son of God is known as Gyani in God's world. Kabir did not establish any tradition, appoint any successor, or allowed anyone to continue any lineage. Traditions, successions, lineages, as written in the Kabir books, are all the king's game. The king propagated these in Kabir's name so that Kabir's devotees would not connect with God when God came to the humans. Kabir never called himself as Sadguru. Rather, he presented himself as an ordinary human among the people and as a messenger of God. Humans saw Kabir as a saint or a fakir, but he never revealed his supernatural form to any human. Kabir never presented himself to the humans as a son of God. Kabir never praised God. However, the king of this universe, in every religion and faith of the world, glorified himself and subjugated people to praise him and worship him for their wish fulfillment, salvation, and liberation. Kabir did not advocate any rituals, worship, ceremonies, yagnas, or devotional practices. He imparted true knowledge, initiated with mantra, and moved on. Kabir traveled among people worldwide and spoke to them in their language. He was not bound to any single language. In Kabir's books, Kal is depicted as deceitful and negative, aiming to mislead people and make them believe that the books which extensively criticize Kal are genuinely authored by Kabir. Kal wrote these books in such a way that it appears as if Kabir wanted to liberate people from deceptions false beliefs, deities, myths, and the illusion of Maya. Karl, in those books, encouraged people to go to a Sadguru to attain the true knowledge. Although every Guru and Sadguru works for and are under Karl's control and only gives false narratives that Karl wants them to give. Kabir came to free the souls and free the humans from their suffering and pain because that was the will of God. The mantra that Kabir gave freed the humans from all their suffering and pain. Kabir opened the door in the 11th dimension for the souls to live. However, because of his overconfidence, Kabir went against the will of God by not allowing God to be with him and guide him in his work. Kabir felt he was strong enough to deal with the king and he didn't need God in his work. Kabir exposed the king and all that the king was doing to the humans. Kabir never performed any miracles because of which humans were not interested in listening to him. God and the sons of God never performed any miracles to dazzle the humans, to hypnotize them. Since Kabir did not perform any miracles and neither had a personality to impress the people, and since he was going against everything that the humans believed to be true, the people were not willing to listen to him. God initially cared for the humans and really wanted to free them from all their suffering and pain. But on seeing how humans were judging Kabir, God lost interest in the humans. In the meantime, all the other 7 kings who were also pushed out by God from his world for going against the will of God joined hands with the 8th king of our universe and closed the door which Kabir had opened. Kabir's strength was not enough against the 8 kings. As a result, not many souls could go back to God. Since the souls could not go back and the humans were not interested in Kabir, Kabir stopped his work. Also, since Kabir went against the will of God, he could not anymore talk with God or go back to the world of God. Gyani, the son of God, also known as Kabir, came only once in this universe and not 4 times as Karl wrote in the Kabir books. When Kabir was no more in his human body, he removed the power from his mantra. Karl presented Kabir as a Sadguru of Gyan, that is knowledge, and Bhakti, that is devotion, and brought in the rituals as if coming from Kabir. Karl created all kinds of stories around how Kabir was found as a child, how he was raised and how he was initiated by a guru and how he died. All the stories of Kabir in these books are false. Since the humans showed no interest in Kabir 600 years back, in 2015, when God came into our universe to free the souls, God was no more interested in the well-being of the humans. When anyone doesn't choose God, doesn't follow the will of God, steps back from God, chooses the king instead of God, God steps back from them and disconnects from them. God decided to come and open the door in the 11th dimension and allowed the souls to decide to go or not. God decided to do nothing for the humans. Later, God relented and now gives some relief to the humans. but not like what Kabir was giving. Kabir had directly opened the door, but God didn't do that because God had promised the king that God wouldn't use his will against the will of the king. Instead, God used the humans to do that. It took 5 years to get the right number of humans and 3 years to complete the work. How God used the humans, they never came to know. What Kabir did instantly, God and the humans did in 3 years. The king never believed this could happen. With God now in the game, all the kings together couldn't close the door. Today, Kabir watches all that is happening from the sideline. He is in guilt and shame and regrets his decision to go against the will of God. He cannot go back to the world of God. He cannot talk with God. God is ignoring his son Kabir. Kabir is waiting for God to forgive him. This is the story of Kabir that God proclaimed, totally different from the stories that Karl wrote in all the Kabir books.